Hey guys, so I actually haven't filmed for the last few days. One, because Jacob was here, and two, because I've been having some serious issues as far as my MS goes, and I couldn't get out of bed the other day, like physically couldn't do it, and then the last couple days, like my right side has been super weak again, and I wasn't really able to move um, my arm, my right arm. So it was hard to even like drive and everything. So I apologize for the way that I look, but I'm still kind of recuperating. And so because of that, I thought that it would be a good idea to share with you guys what I have been working on. Um, in my MS support group that I'm part of on Facebook, I asked them if anyone would be willing to share things that they wish people knew about MS or about living with MS. And so I'm going to share with you some of my favorite responses that I got from them. I believe I got 28 comments from people that are in my group. So, sorry. Um, I'm going to just read it to you, and hopefully you guys get something out of it. So, the first comment is really just that everyone is different. It's not a death sentence. So, with that, I want to just add that, MS isn't exactly what kills you. It's complications related to the MS, like swallowing issues and things like that. Um, Continuing, that my I'm tired is way worse than they're tired, which is true because with MS, you get a lot of fatigue and a lot of depression involved with that. So, a lot of times, like when somebody with MS says that they're tired, it's a lot worse than just a regular tired. Um, that MS is a snowflake disease. Not everyone's symptoms are going to be the same because of the difference in where their lesions are located. So, I have lesions on my brain and on my spinal cord, and some of my symptoms are things that people in my MS support group also deal with, and then some of my symptoms are things that they don't deal with. So, like she said, it's a snowflake disease. From one person to the next, MS can look completely different. Some people have issues with certain things that I don't have issues with, and I have issues with certain things that some people don't have issues with. Um, Life before was easier, and to never take any day for granted. When I say I want to help, let me try. I'm not dead, just please let me try. Which I think that is a big, big one because, like, my husband does really try to help me and he does a lot for me. But sometimes I just get frustrated because I don't want to need the help. It's not that I'm not thankful for his help. It's just about the fact that I hate that I even need the help to begin with. It just gets super frustrating living with such a debilitating disease where one day I can be fine and the next day I can need help getting out of bed. Um, it's frustrating. Um, this is one that I really, really, really um, feel personally. That it's not that I don't want to make plans with you and I don't cancel because I'm not interested in spending time with you, but on some days I'm lucky if I have enough energy to even brush my hair. It's unintentional and is not a reflection of how I feel about you. I have had to cancel plans on people so many times, um, just because of either I'm in the hospital unexpectedly, or I can't talk one day, or I can't walk one day, my body chooses not to cooperate with me one day. So it can get really frustrating for people, I'm sure, who are used to people who have like a pretty normal health. But when somebody with MS gets involved, it's like, please still include me, but just know that I may not be able to come on that day just because of like what's going on with my health. This is kind of a long comment, but I want to read it anyways because I feel like this is also important. My diagnosis has actually been such a blessing to me. First, it helped make sense of my weird medical concerns over the years, but more importantly, it made my husband and I refocus our priorities. We take trips now instead of waiting until retirement. We appreciate my current ability level with the knowledge that it could change anytime, and we also realized it's okay to ask for help. I'm not able to clean bathtubs or floors well, and I tend to injure myself while doing them, so we got somebody to come in once or twice a month to tackle those big ones. It's way cheaper than the time I'd have to take off work to recuperate. So that is a big one because I feel awful sometimes because I just don't feel well enough to help my husband with everyday chores around the house. And he says, don't worry about it. You know, he has no problem with me not being able to help him. But at the same time, it's frustrating to me because I don't want him to feel like he has to do everything. And he does a lot of stuff with the dogs and for the dogs that I just can't help him with. And so it's really frustrating that I feel like he's having to do everything just because of my health. Okay. My family, friends, and my husband are always there for me, especially my husband, who is the only one who knows how to deal with me. But still, something they just don't understand is this. He has told me on different occasions, "You're using your sickness to get what you want." Pretty sure I'm not the only one who has heard those words. And then later he'll ask for forgiveness, but he doesn't understand the damage is already done. I've heard that so many times about, like, you know, you're manipulating people, you're faking it, you know, you're playing it up so that you don't have to do something that you don't want to do. And I hate that because I wouldn't wish this illness on my worst enemy. There's so much that you go through as a person who has MS that I just like, one day can be great, and then the next day I can be basically a vegetable in the bed. And it's just super frustrating because I want my health back. You know, I want to be myself again, and I know that I'll probably never return to my baseline. I have a new baseline now, so it's frustrating. Life is very frustrating because you are not able to do the things you want because of always dealing with bad health. It's a roller coaster ride from hell, and you are desperate for it to stop and have things the way they were before MS. It can also be very painful in every way possible. I wish people would know that not only are we all different as far as symptoms, severity, reactions to medications, but that we are also different within ourselves. We may be able to walk one day and stuck in bed the next day or even in the next hour. I wish they would understand that we are doing the best we can. We may need help, but we also despise asking for it and may even get angry when given the help. It's not that we are mad at being given help, but rather angry at ourselves for needing it. Exactly. That's what I just said earlier. That just because I'm smiling and look fine does not mean that I'm not in a ton of pain. Insomnia and depression are real. It affects us all differently. A normal person's, "oh, I can't sleep," compared to a person with MS up all night is not the same, as well as depression. We just want to be back to our old selves before this disease took over us. I wish people would understand MS is such an unexpected disease. You don't know what tomorrow is going to be like. You could be okay or not, and you don't want to be a burden to others, but sometimes you need a little help. My days have a very brief window to do things, and then I'm done for the day. I want people to know I did not bring this on myself. The cause is not known yet. The cure is not known yet. I'm doing the best that I can. This is a big one. This one really pissed me off when I first got diagnosed. Changing your diet and eating habits will not cure MS. I've heard that so many times. Like, people would message me talking about you need to do clean eating and all this other stuff. Yes, there are certain diets that will help with certain symptoms, but it won't cure your MS. You'll still have MS. There is a difference in being tired to being extremely exhausted, irritable, and pissed off. You are inside your own head, and sometimes the words do not come out clearly. If you see me crying, it's not always because I am sad. It is mostly because I miss my old self and I just need a minute to get it out. Oh, my pain and your pain are different versions. Your version is one of a mild headache or stubbing your toe. Ours is constant electrical pain coursing through different appendages throughout every day. Each step we take is a new victory. Every time I stand is a mystery as to when I fall again because of hip and back pain, and not to mention random bladder issues. And yes, I've also experienced bladder issues at times with incontinence and things like that, and it's very embarrassing to have to share with you guys, but it is very true, because it's like sometimes, Alexa, stop. Sometimes it's just like really hard to get control. Alexa, stop. Sometimes it's just really hard to get like control of your body. And I didn't intend in this being a really long video, but I just wanted to share with you guys, like, there's a lot that we talk about in our support groups regarding MS that it just really, it's very depressing. There's a lot of people who come into the MS groups who are newly diagnosed and their family doesn't understand. They think that they're exaggerating or that they're faking their illness or their symptoms, and they end up talking to us about wanting to kill themselves and things like that. And I don't want people to go to those extremes, because there are other people who will care about you and who will make the effort to still include you in their lives. It's just that I think with MS, people don't know how to handle it because there's so many unknowns about the disease, and it looks different from person to person. So even if you have a relative or somebody that you know who has MS, there could be other people. In fact, there are other people with MS who don't go through the same things that that friend or family member that you know have gone through. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Like I said, I hope you got something out of it. If you have any questions about MS or my MS specifically, please let me know. I'd be glad to make a video about whatever your questions are. I'd rather you ask the questions instead of just assuming. I don't consider any questions about my illnesses or my health stupid. So like I said, I'd rather you ask. If there's any other topics you'd like me to talk about, please let me know, and I'd be glad to make a video for you about it. And with that being said, I will talk to you guys again in my next video.